Ignite. CEDH.
Welcome to Ignite CEDH. My name is Joseph.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Andrew.
And today we're going to spark the conversation. Talk about our decks, some tournaments that we've attended this weekend, and a few just chit-chats. So how was your guys' weekend?
Pre-release was mostly fun, although I think the Ninja Turtle cards kind of ruined it. I felt they were more powerful than a lot of the cards in Lorwyn. But other than that, me and you did the Gamebridge tournament, and that was fun. Top 10 that into a round with some friendly fire.
Yeah. We both made top 10, which was the final cut, and unfortunately, we both didn't get to buy and got paired into the same pod. 50-50 chance, to be fair. I was 3rd seat, Kevin was 4th seat, and it was a weird game. We had Stella Lee in 1st seat. They got to like a point where they could have been scary if they had something, but it was stopped pretty quickly. The 2nd seat was Kinnan. He had a decent board state most of the game, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, commandeered my mana vault, which made a big difference by the end of the game.
I
would have had interaction for the winning turn.
The winning turn. I popped off on turn 2 or 3, I believe. Probably 3. No, it was probably 3 because Stella Lee ended up bouncing my Ral. So I was on Ral Monsoon Storm.
You played a turn 1 Ral,
Mage.
and then turn 3 I think you went off after you bounced.
Yeah, turn 3 and seat 3. So it was like, I thought it was actually a little slower of a game, to be honest. Because there was situations where like Kinnan was getting stuff on the board. I think it was maybe turn 4. It was tough. I don't fully remember it though. It was an interesting game. Like, the deck just isn't an easy win to find. I'm trying not to use the word you hate so badly.
No, go ahead.
So the deck is very undeterministic.
That's just going to be the title of the episode.
You have to keep on just trucking your wheels, moving them forward, trying to find where you find the grip. And I ended up getting to top 4, winning that match, and splitting the prizing. Picked up another foil card for Kenriff.
Mid your winning turn. It's undeterministic, and you have 4 or 5 mana and a grip full of cards and a bunch of cards exiled to cast. And I'm pretty sure it's deterministic.
High win probability. Very high.
Yeah, you were 95% to win. If you whip from there, it's probably because you made a mistake.
Yeah, but it's not like it's a guaranteed win. Like, you have Underworld Breach, Brain Freeze, and LED.
What's the word for
I'm more than likely going to hit the cards I need. It is still has a possibility of not hitting. And I lost two matches by the storm. I won one of my games. I ended up getting Ral out. I pulled a Jessica's Will. Ended up hitting Highway Robbery, Chromox, and a land, I believe. And I had Witch's Mark in my hand. So I had pretty much no resources. I only can cast one or the other spell, and they both do the exact same thing: discard a card, draw 2 cards, and then I drew 2 lands, or Fierce Guardianship and land, or something like that. So I lost to the storm there. Actually, that was the game that I was recalling. The other game, I lost to the storm on Monday when I played at my LGS. That one was wild. I hit storm count 6 for Ral, and I had 3 Ral triggers on stack, and 2 more casts possible, and I missed all 5 flips.
Wow.
That was that's the luck that I say.
You're 1% though.
Yeah, exactly. It happens. I can't say I win because I can, of course, accept your guys' concession. I will definitely do that. But I'm going to be honest with you that there is still a fail pool.
If you flip Ral and get to ultimatum, what's your win percentage there? Like 95% or something? 99%?
I flipped, during one of my games, I flipped 3 lands, a Arcane Signet, and a whole, like, 2 counter spells and something else. Like, it's not guaranteed. It's high.
Okay, so you're on counter
It's
spells
against,
in the
it's
Ral.
variance, right?
Some
Like,
Rals I've heard they're not on Force of Will or anything. Like, they don't run basically counter.
Okay, we're gonna do one of my.
I'm on no Force Will. Sorry?
We're gonna do one of my favorite things and bust out the hypergeometric calculator. How many hits are in your deck to go off with Ral? Like, let's say, like, Mind's Desire, 3 or 4 draw spells will get you there, right?
Probably 30 payoffs, easily.
So if it's 30, you're sitting at a 40% chance to get 4 or more. But if we lower that to 3, how does that work? Nice. If you need 3 successes, so draw spells, whatever, in your top 8, with a 75 cards in your deck, you have a 69% chance of getting 3 or more.
Yeah. And, like, sometimes I only need 1 if it's a Wheel of Fortune or a good wheel effect or a Past in Flames. Like, that dramatically decreases what I need, right?
Yeah.
So, it's definitely can get me there. It's just, sometimes I feel like I've done this amazing turn and I had to pass the turn and do nothing. And that happens maybe 1 out of 13 games.
Yeah. If you did have to pass the turn, I was winning on my turn. You fed me so many. You, like...
Oh, yeah,
I think you fed me 20 cards. Like, it was crazy.
He had a Mystic Remore out, I believe. And all I could do is feed, and I was just hoping he didn't have the counterspell. You had 1 piece of interaction that didn't end up mattering.
Fierce Guardianship in my hand, which I wasn't able to cast because my Mana Vault was commandeered on turn 1. That would have led me to a turn 2 Crom.
Oh.
It was a little heartbreaking. And that was the only free interaction I drew. And we had to fight through... I don't think I ended up using anything on the other guy's turn, but the Kinnan presented to win the turn before.
Yeah,
and
I ended up convincing... So I had a Fierce Guardianship.
Yeah.
I had a Fierce Guardianship that was known, and I was straight up. I was like, I'm not casting this in most cases because it's just like I need this. Like, this is presenting. Stella can present to win at instant speed at any point right now, and we know Stella has interaction. I'm just going to pass the turn. I pass priority.
Stella was close to tossed out at that point.
I think Stella was available, but I was still, like, scared. I just wanted to hold it. I didn't hold it for my turn. I used it before the end of my turn. Before the end of that turn. I just didn't want to be the first person to use my interaction. And, like, that is a little bit of priority bullying, but it is still, like, part of the game. It's like, we know I have a piece of interaction, but I'm not the last in priority to make that decision, right? So I was past priority.
No, I think
Stella was able to kill the Kinnan before the assault came down, and it passed to me to win, I believe, if I recall correctly. How did your games go, Andrew? You did a tournament on Sunday as well. You went to Orangeville.
Yeah, Fantasy Forged. The turnout was really good. I wasn't sure how the turnout was going to be with the 2 tournaments going on the same day, especially yours being Scrubland Door Prize, but it was just around 30 people. It was a good turnout. It was busy. Saw some familiar, friendly faces. My game 1, I got really lucky. There was a Tim Nadargo player. I think he was turn 1 or... I think he was turn 1, I was turn 2. He's like Esper's turn 1. And this Esper ends up being really important because I played like an elf or something. I think he only gets fed 1 by Talisman and then goes around. He develops some mana. So I play a Gilded Drake on my turn 2 and just take his Esper Sentinel because I'm like, I didn't have a land in hand, or I had 2 lands. Not like no rocks for Kinnan. Maybe it wasn't an elf. I forget what I do. Anyways, I Gilded Drake is his Esper. So I draw a couple cards from that, and then he goes on his... I think it's his turn 2 or 3. Whatever it is, very early. He has Grand Abolisher, and then he just goes off. He tutors and plays for some little goblin guy. Pilfer, when it dies, you get a treasure.
Yeah, Goblin Pilfer. In Tim Nadargo, they play like prize statue and goblin pilferer that just sacrifices to make a treasure.
So he does that. He tutors. He goes for a breach thing. He makes all this mana from Dargo. He's a little short on his breach line, so he's not sure what to go for. He has a demonic tutor in there. I think he misplays. He definitely misplays a little bit in this breach line, but he could have, even after the misplay, he tried to Cabal Writ when there was a Dark Writ, and he forgot that he didn't, when he exiles, he didn't get the threshold for the Cabal, because originally he did at the start of his turn. He casts his Dark Writ into Cabal, and he goes all this, right? All under Grand Abolish Protection. So my Esper does draw, and it drew me quite a bit of cards around the turn cycle. Because the whole table was on alarm at this Tim Dargo player. So yeah, this is my pod. There is me and Kidden. There's Tim Dargo, Rogsai, and Atali. So I'm thinking, if I get out of here with a draw, like, we're all kind of, the Rogsai player, he's a good friend of mine. He's like, I'm playing control at this point. Like, we're trying to stop it down. So we're worried about Tim Dargo. So he goes on the breach line. If he would have demonic tutored for LED, even after he messed up the Cabal, I think he would have won. Because he had a lot of cards in his hand, discarded it, and just, gone his thing. But he messed up his breach line. He makes enough mana, and he ad nauseas in his breach line. Because he runs out of cards. So he ad nauseas, hoping to get any 0 mana rock, he says, he would have won. Any 0 mana thing. He doesn't hit it, and he ends up killing himself on the breach.
Oh, no.
And then, so I go after him, and my Esper on a couple cards, like a Lotus Petal and stuff, and I don't know what happens, but it's very controlling. I forget now if I drop, I think I dropped, Lotus Petal, Mox, something, and it's like a Trinisphere. And the other players are just kind of, I don't know if it's Trinisphere yet, but a Trinisphere comes down. And I just kind of lock it out. No, it's a Manglehorn. I think it's a Manglehorn I blow up, I think someone's Mana Vault, Rogsai's Mana Vault. I blow up that up, and then everything comes in tapped, and then I lose the Esper because he's out of the game, but I just kind of grind it out. Because there's an Atali who tries to go off on a Jessica's Will, and I think I Swan, so I fluster it, I think.
Okay, yeah.
And then I picked up a Fierce, and I stopped the Rogsai's ad nause, and then it's just kind of hit and grind. So I got lucky on the first game. He messed up his breach line. Game 2 is something else. Okay, so game 2, I start off not much. I don't have much going on. There's Blue Farm plays a Smothering Tithe. I start off with a tap breeding pool. Very next turn, he gets a Smothering Tithe down the very next turn. Then the third player after him, TNT, gets a Smothering Tithe down. So there's 3 Smothering Tithes at the table. And then me, I just set up mana for Wandering Archaic. It goes all the way around. I have a Wandering Archaic. There's all these Smothering Tithes and treasures, right? So what ends up happening is, at some point, the one player is debating going off on his turn, but the one player says he has a Psycraft. So everyone's afraid to go right then, right? Okay. So he doesn't go. The TNT shows he has a Force of Negation that he can stop with my Wandering Archaic help, stop that other player in C1, whose deck I forget he's on, 5 color, whatever. So anyways, it goes to my turn, and after I draw, that's when the player decides to Psycraft. Just out of, whatever. Okay? So he does that with my Wandering Archaic copy. For some reason, he doesn't pay the copy for the Wandering Archaic. So it's revealed later. He's just trying to get interaction, I think, out of people's hands because he has enough mana on board through lands, even through the copy, just to Thasses and just do the Thasses combo, right? So I guess that's what he was hoping for. So out of nowhere, the other Smothering Tithe player in seat 1, Borns Upon a wins. Tries to win on top because he doesn't want all his Smothering Tithes and everything to go into my Wandering Archaic. So I'm just sitting there okay, the Smothering Tithe everything gets bounced, my Wandering gets bounced, I'll recast and we'll rebuild, slow game. So he feeds my Wandering Archaic. I do the Born and I draw something. I draw a Manglehorn that ends up being important. I have all this untapped mana at this point, right? Whatever, right? My Kinnon's out. So they fight, they try to stop the Born. They stop his, they're okay with mine, right? Because I don't have much. But the people draw cards, and there's stack wars, and my Wandering Archaic's getting hits. Everyone cracking treasures, he's drawing cards. And TNT after I flash in a Manglehorn on top of all these drawing cards, so that they have to make tap treasures now, right? Because I want to limit their mana because I have my Wandering Archaic, and I do this after the guy TNT doesn't think he thinks everything is going to get bounced and stuff. He Enlighten tutors and he doesn't pay for my Wandering Archaic when I have Born Upon a Wind. So I go and I just tutor Basalt. Everyone's tapped out on the treasures. They have all this interaction because of my Manglehorn. And I just,
Nice.
I just make infinite. So it's like I had no chance of winning that game. It just capitalized on,
Yeah, no, it's good to see those pivot points and be able to, like, turn from, like, I'm defensive and controlling to, I have a chance to win. And recognizing that with, like, everything on the stack is even, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, like, it was better at the moment when it was, like, watch the game and people, like, I was talking to people and it was like, because it was like three smothering ties. You think you're, like, my board state was not even, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something.
Every game is winnable.
Then after that, I think the next game was, did we draw it? I think we drew because it was weird. I forget what happened.
Did you go to the table, see 3 turbo decks, and say, do you want to draw?
No, there's no talk of a draw. What happened game 3? Did I lose it?
Recalling match history, Andrew, can be very tough. What happened? So you made top 16, the top cut then, right?
Yeah, I was going for. Yeah, it was a draw. I forget what caused the draw to happen. I don't know. I wasn't involved in the draw in that game. Like I wasn't doing much in that one. Then the last game, someone dropped and they didn't give much notice, so we were in a 3-pod. And if you won that, I figured it was me and some other people who were 2 in a draw. Yeah, because the other top, they paired us, the other would draw, we drew. And they did, I think, just decided on a draw. But I ended up getting the bye into the top one. So there was a 4-pod, nice. The one guy wasn't there, so we drew it. I ended up winning it. It was a 3-pod, and there was a Niv Mizzet player. And I had Hullbreaker Horror and enough mana to cast it. Hullbreaker and, this was, anyway, there's a fish on there, a Mystic Remora the one player has. I tried to steal enchantment, and I have like 2 soul rings out. I had a soul ring, and my Phyrexian Metamorph came in as a soul ring. I tried to steal enchantment his fish, and it was never going to go right, so the Niv Mizzet countered it to protect the other guy's soul ring, or fish, because he didn't want me to steal enchantment. But then the game went a while. I had enough for a Hullbreaker, so when he had this suspend thing to cast a Niv Mizzet out, I flashed in Hullbreaker Horror, and then just casted a Crop Rot to bounce his Niv Mizzet.
Nice.
And from there, there was this weird interaction where I could make infinite mana on my turn, but only infinite colorless and blue, because I had Felwar Stone, and none of them had green. They were 2 Izzet decks. So I bounced their boards, made infinite thing. I end up exiling my own Kinnan because I wasn't too bright. I had a Chromox, and I decided to bounce it back to my hand, bounce Kinnan back to my hand, cast the Chromox, imprint the Kinnan. But then I forgot that I didn't change the zones with Kinnan. Like he's just stayed in exile on the Chromox, so I could only tap it once. So my Kinnan went under my Chromox.
How did you end up winning that game?
I had enough mana for like 1 or 2 flips, and I ended up flipping into a Consphinx.
With no Kinnan?
I think I did that first. I think I used all my mana, and then I tried that. I forget how I don't know. I must have had... Yeah, when did I do that flip? I must have exhausted my... I exhausted my flips first to try and hit like a Thrasios. Got the Consphinx, right? Tried the Kinnan plan after to make infinite mana, I guess, and then did the thing. And I ended up I had Clever Impersonator I hit off the flips, and Phyrexian Metamorph, right? That was a soul ring. So I ended up bouncing it with a couple Hullbreaker Horrors, because I get 2. And then instead of keeping the Hullbreaker Horrors, I get 1 Clever Impersonator stayed on a Consphinx, and then the Phyrexian Metamorph stayed on the Hullbreaker, because I needed that to make my infinite mana. So I had 2 Hullbreakers and I think 2 Consphinx. No kidding, he was exiled for the game though, so it was interesting. And they had bounced all their permanents, right? So it was just kind of, But I did mess up with Kinnan, so I'm going to remember that. Don't ever put him under a Chromox. can't get him back.
Yeah, that's you can't do that. That's
No.
like one of the few ways you can just lose your commander.
Yeah, because I was thinking, like when I bounce it, it's like, oh no, wait, it doesn't change zones, right? Like I should have known that. I just forgot that. I was thinking that once the Chromox gets exiled, I get a chance to change Kinnan zones, but no, he's in exile. He doesn't leave.
Yep, he remains exiled underneath Chromox. Well,
Yeah.
he remains exiled. The underneath Chromox doesn't really matter.
Interesting thing.
The zone is the same.
The Crop Rod I cast for the Hullbreaker, because I knew I had the infinite colored, or like blue and colorless. I was going to get the Treasure Vault to filter it on my turn, but he ended up just out of the blue, just kind of not a spite, but like, annoyed that I countered the Niv Mizzet, or like bounced it back. He just countered the Crop Rod.
So how did the final spot go?
We never played it. We were just kind of.
Fair enough. So it seemed like you had a decent weekend.
Yeah, it was good.
So
Did the new cards come up for any of you guys?
I
know
definitely heard in your match behind me, round 1, it came up.
What's it called? Obnix played a Hexing Squelcher, and I cloned it with Mockingbird. And the entire game revolved around that for the most part. We couldn't counter each other's spells, but they don't have counter magic anyway, so I'm just stuck with a bunch of uncounterable stuff. And I would have had the win in time, but I basically paid for 2 Rhystic Studies that I shouldn't have. I miscounted my mana, and we ended up going to a draw instead, which was disappointing from that position, but I haven't played Blue Farm in like 3 months, so it was bound to make a mistake. Anybody else?
Put Pongify and that Colossal Sky Turtle in the deck just to kill that Squelcher, but it never came up.
So not during the tournament, but last night, Rogsai played like a turn 1 Hexing Squelcher. I was on Kenrith because I think this was our for fun game in between rounds. And I ended up Gilded Draking the Hexing Squelcher, and somebody Phantasmal Draked the Gilded Drake to get the Hexing Squelcher. So 3 of us had the same Hexing Squelcher throughout the game.
Oh, wow.
And my spell got Mindbreak trapped, and the 4th seat ended up also getting screwed by, I believe, a deflecting SWAT. So it was kind of funny that there was still counter magic that was negated in people's hands, but it was still funny that everybody had an answer for something.
Do you think it's do you enjoy it in the game, or do you think it's better?
No, I think it's super scary, especially when Rogsai plays it that early.
Yeah.
That's like a Rogsai turn 2 win dream, right?
And it's awkward if 2 people have them, because it's like counter spells don't work. Like say 2 Blue Farm and a Rogsai, they just can't counter each other. Their counter spells just kind of, it's got to be removed. It's not like copying sometimes doesn't do the, unless you can win faster.
Yeah, I don't know. It hasn't come up too often. I honestly didn't see any other Lorwyn cards. It is the first weekend. I think I was a lot more down on the set than I should have been. There's been a few interesting cards that came up that I just didn't think about when we did our set review.
I wonder if
I think there was a few more stronger cards than I expected. The set actually had a decent amount of playable CEDH cards, not necessarily TEDH, but definitely some that can go in some niche decks. We talked about Moon Shadow, but there's a green version of that loses counters for creatures entering. That loses counters less fast than Moon Shadow does in tie-in. So I was curious about that. When I gave my prediction about Formidable Speaker, I missed the untapping part of it. I just thought the pseudo food chain was the best part about the card, but I could definitely see it be played in Rogsai. Definitely started some conversations with that. It was interesting for sure. And then there was this just common. I actually have it right in front of me. Just common artifact that is just super good in Magda. It's just it's a artifact that is not a creature but has all creature types. So you tap it to create a mana and make a treasure. Like that's pretty busted.
It's pretty good, yeah.
It's pretty strong. It's an artifact dwarf that just taps for mana by itself. So I'm definitely interested to see more Lorwyn in the sets here coming, like in the games coming up. But definitely not excited about the hexing winter we're going to have.
You think it gets banned?
Cool.
One card.
I hope it does, but probably doesn't anytime soon.
I don't think they're banning for CDH really, so I don't think it does.
I think they will ban 1 or 2 cards this coming cycle. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this coming February.
Yeah, come February. But it's more likely unbans. I think unbans are more likely to be seen in February.
There's a card that it wasn't in my game, but people were talking about it. It's this black-white owl where it enters and target creature loses all abilities except it gains like vigilance, flying, first strike or something.
I did see that card when it came up. Give me a second, I'll find it.
Why would that be good?
Well, I think it was in was it in Tivit or something? Anyways, there was a displacer kit and he just kept flickering the thing and it just turned off everyone's like any important creatures. Just lost all abilities.
Have you played Hearthstone?
I used to, not in years.
So, but you played Hearthstone, so you know exactly how powerful the silence mechanic is in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think of blinking it infinitely, but I can see where that would be powerful.
Which is bad. Like if you're in a Tivit, like a card deck that wants that effect anyways, but it's just, I think it's 3 mana. It's like an out. I forget. Yeah.
Here it is. I can share the tab.
That was one apparently it really overperformed.
Yeah, Abigail, Eloquent First Year. Flying First Strike lifelink. When it enters, up to 1 other target creature loses all abilities. Put a Flying First Strike and lifelink counter on that creature. That's all 3 counters. So
it's not like I can. It's pretty efficient. Like being able to play hybrid black-white twice, being a pretty easy to cast thing in a few decks.
Also a bird for Valley.
Yeah, I can definitely see the strength of the card, especially if you're able to repeat flicker it. I just don't see it really being a great one-time use type of effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the card came up, and then it was actually, there was some confusion, I guess. The one guy called the judge because he was told by some of the staff that Lorwyn cards weren't allowed to be used. Well, obviously they had made an announcement that they were, but I guess some people missed it, so called the judge when he saw a squelcher out there.
Huh.
So there was just a bit of confusion with that. But yeah, other than that, I don't think they really played. I never heard anyone talking about the squelcher or anything. Like, people had it in their decks, but I never saw it play out.
Yeah, I just don't think it came up too much. It's just the thought of it is daunting in a sense. I didn't see much removal overall over the weekend. I don't think people were going to be super prepared for it. Coming from a deck that I have a must-remove piece, I found it, like, if I landed mine, I feel like I just can, and free reign to win at that point.
Yeah.
But it's still very early. It's only been 1 tournament that we've had the cards legal for. It should be, we can definitely have a different point of view next week. I believe all 3 of us are doing our friendly Forbes tournament. Kevin? Maybe not Andrew, sorry. Andrew.
No, I won't be there.
But me and Kevin are going to be hanging out together all day as he watches me Undeterministic least form.
I'm excited to watch you indeterministically. I feel like it's indeterministically. It is definitely indeterministically. I'm very excited to watch you indeterministically storm off in a tournament where I have no stakes. My stakes for the tournament are we get 25 to 30 people to show up, and it's a very big success. Yeah, I don't really like. No offense. I mean, I hope you do well, but who wins doesn't actually affect me.
I would like to be 2 for 2. Is my goal.
That'd be nice. Yeah, so that tournament, I can't remember if we talked about it last week, but just a quick refresher. $25 entry, $500 prizing, $200 to first, $100 to second, third, fourth. Full proxy, January 25th, we're starting at 11, doors open at 10:30. And yeah, we got 22 people signed up right now, last time I checked.
23, 5 seats left.
23, well, I got a drop from it still, so it'll be 22.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, like, we're getting close. If you're seeing this and it's Friday, sign up ASAP. And then the winner will qualify.
If there's space.
Sorry?
If there's space.
If there's space, yeah. The winner will qualify for a Mox Diamond tournament at the end of the year. It'll be the monthly winners, and then we'll keep a score for the top 10 and top 4 as well. So any spots that aren't used up by monthly winners will become point spots. So let's say Joe wins 3, and everyone else who wins one wins just 1. That would mean we would have 2 extra point slots that come up. It'll be hopefully a fun day. Looking forward to.
Yeah, should be a good year. Other than that, there's a few other tournaments that are coming up. Every Monday we do our Legendary Collectibles League in Mississauga, where we actually capped yesterday. We had all seats filled, and this is kind of like a 3-month weekly Monday night tournament that it's just random pods. You get randomly paired each round, and you just earn points. Every win you get earns you points into the Invitational at the end of the 3 months. We have on February 15th, Orangeville. And again on March 22nd. They just posted that apparently. We have on February 21st, we have Waypoint Games, which is in Hamilton. They're doing like I believe a monthly series is coming.
Yeah, I think they were talking about that. Smaller store, they're just getting started out. Like, I would, unless something drastic happens this time, I would expect kind of like a Forbes started where we get like 8 to 10 people, and then they just kind of expand from there. But really exciting still. It was a great host for the first tournament that we went to.
Yeah, great host. They were super nice people. Loved playing there. The space was really nice, and they had like decent selection of like pretty good CDH cards.
Oh yeah.
And then just announced there's a tournament in St. Catharines for Tundra on February 22nd. I don't know if I can do both tournaments, but I think that's like maybe beg the wifey to let me do a double tournament weekend after my birthday.
That would be sweet. I'm probably going to go to that one. Wait, what day is it?
So 21st is Hamilton, 22nd is St. Catharines.
Okay, we'll see what day the Forbes one is scheduled for, because between pre-release that month and a couple other commitments, we're going to have to make something work.
Yeah, February is just tight because there's not a whole lot of weekends, but February 28th is a Saturday, maybe. Is that a pre-release?
It's the 27th, 28th, and the 1st.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I guess it's going to... I guess you have to double it up on... You have to do it on Sundays, which is the 14th, yeah. I think you get good showing. I talked to a lot of the folks. They're excited for it.
Is that Tough Mulligans? When Tough Mulligans is around?
That is the same weekend as Tough Mulligans, I believe. No, Tough Mulligans the week before. The 7th was another
Tough
tournament.
Mulligans is the 31st.
Yeah.
7th, was that King of Games was the 7th?
Oh, that's face-to-face.
Face-to-face is that weekend, yeah.
Coming up, yeah.
No, yeah.
Man, there's just not a whole lot of space to play games.
That is busy, that is.
February is just jam-packed. I think you're going to need to double book, compete with another.
Probably end up double booking on the 22nd or the 21st then. Maybe.
I think 22nd's not a bad bet. The Tundra is in St. Catharines. You're not going to get a lot of like the London and Mississauga folks.
Yeah,
Mississauga might go out there, but
that's what I'm thinking.
The other issue is on the 21st. There's also a Buffalo event that Andrew's going to.
I haven't
think semi-officially
yet,
now.
But it looks like, it looks promising.
Yeah, so it's just non-stop. You could play a tournament pretty much every weekend in February pretty easily. Which is fantastic. The scene is growing. It
is awesome. Big time, yeah.
Also, our friends in Woodstock are going to be announcing a tournament soon. I'm excited for that. So
yeah, we'll report that when they get it out.
For sure.
What's the new website called? I didn't know what it was. It's not Nerds anymore, right?
No, Nerds. So Josh still owns Nerds, which is just an online store.
I saw that.
Jared owns PAX Gaming, but
PAX
we got that.
Gaming.
Yeah.
So that's the website.
It's not live yet. The site.
It's not live. Okay.
Any overreactions?
Yeah. All right. This is a bit of a what if, but I think Kevin and I talked about this in one of the episodes a while ago. So, with the prevalence of silence effects, I want more channel cards, and I think it should have a mix of Mindbreak Trap with silence. So, say you may channel this card. Think Colossal Skies, Turtle, Beseiju, Otawara. But the clause of if an opponent has cast 3 or more cards this turn. So say it's like an Elvish Mystic or something like that, and you may channel this card if an opponent has cast 3 or more cards.
I think that's very ambitious of a card having 2 major effects of like channel effects like Otawara and Beseiju typically already have a reduction to them. Making them cost absolutely free with a clause, and they are almost impossible to counter. It's making something very extraordinarily powerful. Yes, it's only going to be a piece of interaction, but if you're doing something that removes something, then it's like, well, I can't stop it. That's the hard part about doing something for free, is like there still has to be some sort of balance. You can pitch these amazing CDH cards, but you also have to remember that there's 32 formats in Magic right now or something like it's ridiculous like that, and every card needs to be considered in some way or form for almost any of those formats. So just putting out a very busted card like something that is waiting for 3 spells to be cast or having clause to cast for free, you have to imagine what that would do to standard or modern, right? So you have to be very careful about that. Commander decks affect legacy. If that's where, like, you have to just kind of keep an eye out. I think we need more channel effects. I like channel effects. I don't like free channel.
Okay. Yeah, free channel is very hard to interact with. If it was just a free cast, maybe. Because most of the time you're casting that, it's into someone who's cast 3 spells that turn anyway. Not often are you someone like on the upkeep to stop them from value.
I do like the evoke elementals that
that's what made me
exile card. Yeah, I like the exile card effect, like Force of Will or Force of Negation, evoke elementals. I do like that power level. I just don't know where we're missing of a pitch card. Like, we do have a very niche piece of removal with pitch cards. Actually, multiple pieces of removal with pitch cards, multiple counter spells with pitch cards.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I would like to see maybe 1 or 2 more interesting pieces of effects for that. Maybe a silence effect, because I think pitching a card for a silence effect is a pretty steep cost, but it's still worth it, right?
Yeah, I was just trying to get away from the silence effects, just that there's more interaction. So maybe a Evoke would have been better, so you pitch instead of channel. But yeah, just some way to get the silences. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah, Evoke's a cast at least.
Yeah.
I don't hate cast. I wish you could invoke a like instant or sorcery, but that's just basically what Force of Will is. It's basically evoke.
Yeah.
So, like, creatures are just hard to counter, is what my point there is. But at that point, I'm just kind of griping on mechanics.
All right, my next one is how long's Timna and Thrasios been since their release? Like 10 years, give or take, something like that. Before I was playing.
I don't.
A long time, anyways.
Commander
It's probably
2016, so 9 years.
9
10 years.
years.
10 years this year.
So
10 years this year.
ever since their printing, Timna and Thrasios have been one of, or probably both, usually the main CDH decks up there, one of the top ones. Now with all these free spells, Rograx up there, I think it's time to shake up the meta and ban Timna, Thrasios, and Rograk.
I think
If
that's
we-
ambitious. Again.
Yeah, if we had our own meta, maybe, but that's a lot for, right?
It would make
I-
new commanders interesting coming in, because so much, it's like, oh, a 4-color commander or a 3-color commander. It goes against the Timna Thrasios bar, and it usually falls so short.
I think banning Timna and Rograk gets the same effect than banning all three. I don't think Thrasios is obviously strong, but I don't think it is like bannable.
It's not the worst out of the three. Yeah, I get what you mean. The other
Yeah.
two are more of a
Banning Timna and Rograk are just the best things you could do to kind of pair stuff with. Timna obviously being one of the strongest, if not the strongest, partner commander. Being able to just draw cards for very little cost is very strong, and being in white for silence effects and black for tutors is just like what every deck kind of wants. Then you have Rograk, which just enables very powerful turbo starts. It's and very powerful effects in both Rogsai and Rogthras. And if you take away Timna and Rograk, then there's no real good Thrasios deck. There's Yoshi Thrash, but not. That's like just.
So you're in favor of banning Timna and Rograk, leaving Thrasios?
I'm in favor of banning Timna. I don't really care too much about Rograk, but I can see a world where they both get banned together. I think it's an unlikely world, but
yeah, unlikely.
I would say Rograk is the second best partner.
I don't think they're ban worthy. I mean, they're strong, but no matter what, you're gonna have strong things in CEDH. That's the entire point, right? I think maybe a change to the partner rule is probably a little more appropriate, where commander tax is shared.
Yes.
That I think would fix, like, because then you're really choosing between Timna and Crom. You're not getting both out in the same game, unless it goes super long.
Yeah, no, I'm actually intrigued by that because it also hard nerfs Rograk and Thrasios as well.
Yeah. I don't think banning is the way to go. I think just fixing the partner system makes more sense.
Never really thought about that. Now it does negatively affect a lot of other bad partners. Like Clue Farm will be like pretty hard to play with. I've seen quite a bit of Doctor Who recently, like the 11th Doctor.
Yeah.
And like those will be directly nerfed by that effect as well, unless you're specifically saying the partner mechanic instead of like Friends Forever or
specifically
Doctor.
I think you'd have to.
Yeah, but that would be. I feel like changing the commander tax is a global rule, not a rules text rule, right? Just like when they kind of redid the companion wording. It's the companion zone always will cost 3 to put into your hand before you can play it.
Yeah, so there's like precedence for them to do this.
Yeah, it's intriguing. I feel like I don't want to see it nerf other like strong CDH decks, like tier 2 CDH decks, by accident, but it's definitely a solution. I just don't know how good of a solution it will be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Brea would be probably the best.
A lot of tier 2s will rise
Saints.
up with the vacant spots too, but I get.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The metagame would change, and it would be.
Yeah.
I think Kin would just stand out, be the best deck again, and it would be tough. Blue Farm would still be strong because it's like you don't super care about Crom, but just having the option for Crom makes it really strong.
It does. Oh yeah.
Anything else, Andrew?
Yeah. So
one last one before Kev needs to leave.
A lot of talk about blue Rhystic Study as a possible ban. Thassa's Oracle 2, I think Rhystic's slightly more likely. If that gets banned, decks like Rogsai, Kinnan, I think any deck without card draw in the command zone gets worse, and Blue Farm will get much better comparatively because of all their card draw in the command zone.
Strongly disagree.
You don't think Blue Farm gets better if Rhystic gets banned?
I think they get better, but I don't think that's the only deck that's good. I strongly disagree with the part of the statement that other decks get worse.
Turbo decks, it benefits turbo decks big time. Turbo decks.
Get better isn't the right wording. It just gets less worse than other commanders.
Yeah,
like
I didn't know how to word that. Less worse. You've got it.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
Like, you guys know me right now. I am in a very turbo hype build. I've been playing Itali, I've been playing Ral, I actually just got the Sam Black Narset build printed to playtest that.
Yeah.
I'm very hyped up on these turbo decks that they play through Rhystic, but if you have to pass the turn, you lose the game. So I'm just kind of been really excited about that, and if Rhystic is banned, I'm just more excited. I can play these decks with way less punishment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Turbo gets better for sure. It's not really hit by those effects. Like if they're playing a Rhystic Study, then they're hoping for a long game, they've probably already lost. Probably just playing for a draw. And then Blue Farms hit less than other decks, but it doesn't escape unscathed. I think you'll see a lot of turbo leading at that point, even not necessarily Rogsai, or you're gonna see players play stacks to adjust to what they expect to be a turbo meta. So I would probably, if Rhystic was banned, I would probably just play Yang, and just stacks out the game and then try to combo off.
I think that deck has a lot of potential actually.
I see Aang having a lot of potential. I just don't like that if
the stacks version I think has a lot of potential.
I don't like how transparent it is. Like, it has a very linear game plan that is very foreshadowed, and it requires two pieces in order to go off.
Yeah.
It requires your commander, and it requires a doubler. ETB doubler. Without the ETB doubler, you're just going to find a clone and then just go through all your clones in your deck and do nothing.
Do you think if Thassa gets banned, the One Ring will rise in popularity because it really can protect you for a turn? Thassa was really the one main way to get through the One Ring, right?
I don't think the One Ring sees, I don't think there's anywhere that's going to add it for that, no.
No?
It already sees play everywhere that wants it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people cut One Ring in a lot of decent decks just because it's a very slow card draw effect. Like, it ramps up if you could get it out early, but if you get it out late, you're just paying 4 mana to draw a card.
Yeah.
So I've seen... I feel like it's wrong to cut it from Blue Farm, but I've seen some top Blue Farm players cut it.
Seems good how you can get the top deck tutors. But I guess Taro kind of does that, but I like One Ring more than Taro.
Yeah.
I don't like Taro.
Neither do I. Yeah, I don't like it.
I still like it. I think it's a decent card, but I also love treasures in my Kenrith deck. So I'm still pretty hyped about Taro. And it's worked out for me pretty much every time so far. I haven't played a lot of the deck in a while. It's like, the times I've played it, Kenrith, I've never played it super mid-rangey. I've always won because I've won on turn 3 or turn 4. Been pretty quick. Any final statements? Any final questions? Anything before we go?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
One quick thing. Some of you watched my European tournament there, the finals. What did you think about they have a bit of a restart meta in Europe. What do you think about that? Should we have it over here? Try it. Yes or no?
I think the restart meta is very particular. The way they did their timing rules is very interesting. We're in a top cut round, so your finals pod. They started a 150-minute timer, or 2.5-hour timer, at the beginning of your first game. You guys can choose to restart the game, follow the draw, restart the game at any point, where then that timer, the remaining time on that timer, is in effect, and you have to complete any sequential games within that time allotment. But the first game, if it goes to fluorescent, it is untimed. You could play a 3-hour, 4-hour game. So it's an interesting way to put a pseudo time limit in place. Say this game doesn't look like it's going anywhere quick. It's been 20 minutes. Let's just restart the game, and maybe we'll all be in a better spot. Or I don't want to king make Andrew, so we'll restart the game, and hopefully it just gives us a better chance.
I mean, I think I like it within the 90 minutes, 80 minutes, whatever the time frame is like the Swiss rounds. I actually didn't like the finals game, how there was a time limit on it. It kind of made the ending of that game very weird, I thought.
I think it only, watching from a third-party perspective, I think it only was weird because you guys weren't aware of the timer, and you personally weren't aware of the rules around it. I think if you had an idea, hey, I have to offer all my restarts within this with enough time to win the game, you would have played that game differently.
I would have,
it would have been better. I think you're right now a little too hyper focused on that one single finals game for your first time playing in that type of formatting.
Yeah.
I think it could turn out to be something enjoyable. It's just a restart meta is just like, if that's in every round of Swiss, you could be playing 6-7 games in a single day. Like, it can add up really quickly. I'm on RAL, so it's like, for most of my tournaments recently, it's like, okay, I go off turn 2 or 3, typically. I spend 20 minutes on my turn. Someone then counters the thing that I'm out of mana or I'm out of card draw. Counters my last effect, saying, hey, I propose a draw. Let's restart. And now I have to redo the whole thing over again. My mind is fried.
Yeah, even Shorkai, well, he said because he was a slower control deck, he couldn't do another restart because his deck couldn't win in that time. Like, odds are.
Yeah. It's just hard to win in 90 minutes for a control deck. I've tried playing Shorkai in the control deck.
I rushed through my turn because that one player with a defense grid was discarding cards from his hand slowly. It's like, I'm just going to kill you, like, attack with creatures. Like, yeah. So
he was definitely intentionally slow playing, and that was a little BS, but it is what it is. Like, I don't think he also knew about, the timer. He was just trying to get a restart out of it. And, I understand you did essentially offer a restart, and then took it back, but more information was gained, and with the assumption that the answer was no to restart initially, and then more information was gained, that deal was off the table.
Yeah, because I offered him one. He said no. If I knew the time, though, I would have gotten greedier and went for a Basalt rather than 2 pieces of interaction.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
It was a weird game. Yeah. I think it was just for you, it's like, you probably just got off of work. It's like 2:30 our time, and probably 7 o'clock their time, 8 o'clock their time. It's just such a weird timing, so you're just like, I'm barely out of, back in the house, I have to...
It was a rush.
Go pick up the kids. Semi-recent...
well, my wife was going to get the kids, depending on how long the game went, and she ended up getting them, I did get them there, I ended up getting them, it ended in time,
I think it was just, a pretty shit show. Now... that's also mostly because we are Canadian and this is the European league. Like, you specifically signed up for a time zone 5 hours there.
You have to kind of expect that when you do that.
Yeah, it was actually nice because I'm, Christmas break here, and so it just kind of worked out when my time off and their evenings, like kind of the afternoon here. So it was actually great for me to get
Yeah. Like, I think I still would prefer the Critical EDH League, just because it's just like more NA. It has almost every NA player, and that really grinds a lot. Like, there's some really high level players. I know I've faced Zach a couple times, who won the Top Deck Invitational last year. That has been a lot of fun.
He's a good player.
I know you've played against Shaka in Tough Mulligans, and you thought he was a good player. He's a good friend of mine.
Many times. Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah. So I'm just excited to keep on grinding that league, and seeing how early your finals started. I'm not really tempted to join the European.
Oh, I wouldn't join it. I don't have enough time to play the games in the Critical EDA or any of those to grind. It was just Christmas. It was free entry. They offered it for December, and I'm like, someone mentioned it to me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Because I even joined it late. Like, I didn't come in until like the second half, like more closer to exam time when I had time.
Well, if you guys enjoyed the episode, please like, subscribe, or comment. We really appreciate it. Help us hit the algorithm. And I hope you guys enjoy your weekend.
One more thing. If you think of something you want in a tournament, leave it in the comments. With us starting to get to know some of the TOs and like organizing things myself, we might be able to make some experiments happen or like try some one-off things. Definitely would like to know what the community would like to see in their tournaments going forward.
That's the show, folks. Wow.
That's all, folks.
That's all.
Have a good week, everyone. Good weekend.
Have a great night, everyone. Hopefully we'll see you again.
See you next week, Andrew. Peace. Good. How are you?
Oh, not bad.
A Gruffalo show going on for them.
Oh.
No idea what that is.
It's like a kid's book that we just found out there's a show of. Like a 30
that's
book.
good.
Made the book in one. It's good. Actually really good. I just found out there's a Buffalo tournament with like 4 dual lands. And Josh, he's going to go, and I don't know who this guy, another guy, Achilles.
Achilles is a good guy.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. Has he gone to Fancy Forged?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe last time. He doesn't go to a lot of tournaments. He's a pretty busy person.
At the games, there's Tundra on the Sunday after.
So we'll probably go to there. But it's on a fucking Melee instead of Top Deck. They've had Top Deck events before. I think they just didn't want to renew their membership or something.
I've never heard of the other one.
Melee is just a very classic tournament hosting site. It's really bad. Like, it's not meant for like hosting a Magic tournament, but it does other tournaments. I don't know how it does it in a 4-man pod tournament. I don't know. I don't love the idea of using Melee.
Are you going to it?
But it's for Tundra, so like I'm just probably going to go to it anyways. I can't do Buffalo. I love the tournament scene for Southern Ontario. I love just jamming games with people I like to see regularly. And like you get to see different stores' personalities, because some people only go to their specific LGS's tournaments. You don't see them at every event like you, me, and Andrew go to. Yeah. So it's like, it's nice to see the Mississauga folks go to, like, Enter the Battlefield. The Windsor folks come up to Woodstock. People come down to your Oakville tournament, your Cambridge tournament. Orangeville is getting, like, a splatter of effect. Barrie folks coming out and stuff like that. It's been
been good.
Yeah, lots of good. It's really growing. I like to see it.
Yeah, well, like, on Sunday, one tournament had 30 players and the other tournament had 30 players. That's 60 players simultaneously playing Magic at 2 different events.
Like, that's, like, if you have a big event, it's not impossible to get all those people down for one event.
And it was nice to...
You just need a good offering, like, good entry fee and good offering of prizing.
A friend of mine top 4'd in that event. He played an AC deck right from Walmart with him. I haven't played with him since then.
Yeah.
And it was great seeing him, and he topped that. This was his second tournament. It was great to see him. Yeah.
So, like, back of the napkin math, Face-to-Face currently has about 50 people signed up for their tournament at $50.
They just expanded to 90 some odd people.
So that's
Zero proxy.
pricing. That's 2,500 in pricing. You're halfway to a 5K there.
Yeah, it's
like that's not
nothing. That's not nothing. If I'm going downtown Toronto, then and that's where dinner is anyways, that kind of works out.
Yeah.
I just parking.
I mean, just
I would have to drive.
Stay parked at the venue and then take the TTC. It's always reliable and on time.
Well, that's supposed to be.